All right, let me start by indemnifying myself. I did not write the Bible, right? But all that I am trying to put across to you is that which is written in the Bible, right? Go and read for yourselves, and find out the truth. The letters that were written to the Gentiles are meant for us. But we find we are now more concentrated on the things that were directed at the Jews, trying to export them or import them into the church, whereas the church is about the Gentiles. So our concentration should be on the Gentiles. So that's why I'm trying to indemnify myself. Go and find out the truth for yourself, that which is written in the Bible. Right. I promise you that I'm going to bring to you about the enmity of God. The enmity with God. Let me just go to Romans 8. We'll start off. It's a long one, but I just try to cut it short. I'll pick. I don't think there's anything to leave behind. Just start from Romans 8 right up to the end, right? That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us. When we look at, let us look, when you go to Romans 8, it gives you a lot of things that we are able to do. It's unfortunate a lot of people run away from those verses, right? When you look at Romans 8, right, I've spoken about 8:1 gives us there is no condemnation. 2 says the law of the Spirit and the life of Jesus Christ it made me free from sin and death, right? So the whole of Romans 8, I would rather urge you to go to Romans 8. It now gives us where our effort is supposed to be directed. Our effort is only directed to be at the body, not to deal with to deal with the spirit, not the body. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded in life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. It gives us that the body will never subject itself to the will of God. That is the main reason why effort is now, we are supposed to put effort on the spirit side and leave out anything that has to do with the body. So they that are in the flesh cannot please God. I don't know how much clearer these things are supposed to be like. So that's the whole idea. God has nothing to do with the body. He wants to kill the body. Alright? Let us go to Philippians 3:3. Alright? It gives, for we are the circumcision which worship God in the spirit and rejoice in Christ Jesus, and we have no confidence in the flesh, which means anything that is physical does not please God, right? The things that we are fighting for to have are physical things, right, which only satisfy the body. So this is the problem that we are having. We are concentrating on the body other than concentrating on the spirit. Right, let's see what happens now at rapture. Right? Go to 1 Corinthians 15:52. It says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right? At rapture, what's going to happen is those people whose bodies are still here on earth, right? They will be raised up, but they will be changed, because those bodies cannot get into heaven because they are corrupt. They've been corrupted because of the fruit. So they cannot go into heaven. But your soul is already in heaven. Alright? So this is exactly what happens. The avoidance is for the body not to touch into heaven. There is only one body that went in, right? That was of Jesus Christ, because it was incorruptible. Right? So it had to enter into heaven. Let's see now what happens when he comes back. Right? Jesus is going to come back. Right? At rapture. Right? He takes out the Gentiles. Right? After taking out the Gentiles and changing their body, he's going to bring them back after 7 years to come back and fight. But Jesus will be in his original body. Right? Are you with me? Alright? He's going to fight and destroy all the Gentiles and destroy 90%, almost 90% of the Jews. Right? Only a few will remain. Of those, they will remain in their own bodies. Right? And their souls, right, will be in them. But as for now, Jews are not being saved. Are you with me? The Jews' destination is here on earth. They don't go into heaven. They stay here on earth. Their kingdom is here on earth. I don't know whether they're clear. Right? I'll put up the verse that shows they've been blinded for now. So salvation is not coming into the Jews. Right? This portion were given courtesy of Jesus. But even when you go back, you find Jesus only says, I only came with the lordship of the house of Israel, not for the Gentiles. The Gentiles were coming in as a gift. Right? So, when he comes back, he's coming back in his own body. The Jews are going to maintain their bodies. The Jews are allowed to procrastinate, to give birth. But the church, which is the Gentiles, will not be able to bear children. They will be having changed bodies. They will be, that's what's normally called the Joel's army. Right? They are coming in to work with Jesus Christ. The church is the army that's going to come and work and destroy the other people that will be on earth. And they will be working as policemen to Jesus Christ. When he comes back to sit on the throne, he's coming back in his own body, in his own flesh, because he conquered the corruption that was in the body. So the Jews, right, will be in their bodies. They'll be allowed to bear children. But there's something that is going to happen to them. Right? The devil is going to be chained. Right? Once the devil has been chained, then which means which now means that the influence which the fruit that they had taken earlier on will be removed. The effects will be neutralized. Right? For 1,000 years, their body will not die for 1,000 years. What's going to happen? Egypt, Israel, Iraq, and part of Iran are going to be changed again to the Garden of Eden, where God will provide everything that is needed for the life of a person. Which means the effects of the fruit have been destroyed. The bodies will live longer. Right? The other confusion which people are having is they are preaching what's called the everlasting gospel. The everlasting gospel is found in Revelation. Revelation is now for the Jews. But this is going to happen after the church is departed. Right? The everlasting gospel is now being preached on the Jews. That's why you find those 144,000 are Jews. 12,000 from each tribe. They'll be preaching the everlasting gospel. It's not about the Gentiles. They'll be preaching to the Jews. after the devil has been taken, after the effect of the fruit has been neutralized. So those bodies are going to remain incorruptible until after 1,000 years. After that 1,000 years, what God is doing is going to monitor what he had intended to do before Abraham sinned. He's going to see that minus the devil, minus the effect of the fruit, what is this body going to do? Is it going to be subjected to the will of God or not? So you find what has been said in Matthew and John, Luke, the small gospel, is going to continue because it had been cut short. It's going to be continued under the kingdom of heaven with Jesus sitting on the throne. Right? He is going to use an iron rod. It means he's going to discipline whoever, now that the devil has been removed, whatever remnants, evil remnants that are going to remain inside each and every body will be destroyed. So in reality, God is only coming in to deal with the body. He's dealing with the body, not the soul. The man is not going to be affected. The man is a soul, and the souls don't die, but he disciplines it. It is only him who created the soul that can destroy that soul. So in reality, the second part is now God or Jesus dealing with the Jews unto such time that they've accepted to actually say, all right, so this is what it is, right? At the end of that 1,000 years, you'll find again that the devil is going to be unleashed. The reason why the devil is going to be unleashed after that period is just to test his effectiveness on the body. If the bodies resist the devil, then they will live forever. That's an everlasting gospel. An everlasting gospel is not for the Gentiles. I know there are a lot of people out there that are preaching the everlasting gospel. They are moving away from what has been written for them as Gentiles, going to opt for what has been written for the Jews. The Jews are the only people that have been given the authority for them to do. We are coming in after what is done. So this is the challenge that we have. So when we speak of the spirit man, we are only talking of the soul. A man is made out of a body and a soul, right? Not any other. Those two things are supposed to be subjected to the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is not inside a person, a body. But the difference, that's why I say to be carnally minded is dead. Carnally minded is you are looking at the physical, you are looking at a body, right? But that's not reality. A reality is what is inside that body. So, to round up, a man is a soul, right? A body was placed so that he will be in charge of the environment, what God has created. So the Jews, they've got the privilege. They are going to eat all the things that God is going to provide them. They are not going to be working. They'll be managing the same thing, just like what Adam did before the fall. That is the intention of God. Thank you.